Are the questions from your research? How would you respond to criticism that are potential criticism relevant to your research?
A potential criticism of my findings could be that the focus on a single school limits the generalizability and may not the generalizability of my findings and may not accurately represent of the experiences of the rape survivors in other contexts. While I acknowledge these limitations, my intention was to conduct an in-depth exploration of the lived experiences of the survivors.
What are the practical implications of your findings and how might they be applied in real world settings?
The practical implications of my research, of my findings, could be that the school need to expand and enhance accessible counseling services, train, edu- train educators in train educators in trauma sensitivity and survivor support, create peer support groups, engage family through education and collaboration, establishing confidential reporting and support mechanism. These measures can apply in real-world settings by implementing comprehensive trauma-informed policies and practices within the school environment.
Next question. What are the most significant findings of your research and how do they contribute to the existing body of knowledge?
The most significant findings reveal that rape survivors experience a range of psychological effects such as depression, anxiety, persistent sadness, and feelings of shame. Socially, they often withdrew from classmates, had difficulty trusting others, and experience family strained relations.
Next, did your research uncover any unexpected results and how did you interpret these and what are their implications?
One unexpected result was extent to which some survivors face stigma or neglect from their families and communities despite the presence of formal support systems. Cultural belief and attitudes surrounding sexual violence may affect to access and for available resources.
What are the most significant findings of your research and how do they contribute to the existing body of knowledge? Did your research uncover any unexpected results and how did you interpret these and what are their implications? Can you explain the core problem of your research addresses and why it's significant?
My research addresses the profound psychological and social trauma experienced by grade 10 students who have survived rape. This is significant because rape trauma can lead to severe mental health issues like PTSD, depression, and anxiety, hindering their social development and academic performance.
What are the key limitations of methodology and how did these limitations influence your findings?
The primary limitation is the qualitative phenomenological approach, while which providing rich, in-depth data is limited in generalizability. The sample size, while appropriate for qualitative research, is small and specific to Dato Pangulima Integrated School, meaning the findings may not directly transferable to another context or populations. Additionally, the reliance on self-reported data may be subject to recall bias or disability bias.
What are the key limitations of your methodology and how did you ensure the validity and reliability of your data collection methods?
To ensure validity, I use semi-structured interviews with open-minded questions, allowing participants to express their experiences in their own words, thus capturing the depth and complexity of their trauma. New protocol was developed through a the interview protocol was developed through a thorough review of relevant literature and expert consultation. I also employ triangulation by comparing data from interviews with survivors, focus group discussions with support network members. Reliability was addressed through detailed documentation.
Could you elaborate on the statistical analysis you employed and justify your choice of techniques?
As this was a qualitative study, statistical analysis was not employed. Instead, I used thematic analysis, a rigorous data analysis technique to analyze, identify, and report patterns within the data. Thematic analysis was chosen because it allows for a deep exploration of the lived experiences of the survivor.
What are the next steps in this line of research and what future studies would you recommend based on your findings?
The next step in this line of research would be to conduct longitudinal studies to examine the long-term effect of brain trauma on adolescent survivor and to evaluate the effectiveness of different intervention strategies.
What are the potential limitations or challenges in applying your findings?
A potential limitation in applying these findings include the need for adequate funding and resources to implement comprehensive support programs, as well as the challenge for overcoming cultural barriers and stigma surrounding sexual violence.